I decided to make a video about what I'm going to dramatically call Rationality's Cunning Nemesis, which is that part of you which is always a step ahead of your conscious thinking. And it's always, I guess, trying to protect you in a way, or trying to make you right somehow by intelligently understanding exactly where your thought process is going and heading you off, making something happen so that you don't actually admit the uncomfortable thing, so that it doesn't come into your head as a correction or a realization. And the thing about this that I find fascinating is how incredibly intelligent and yet how philosophically unprincipled this part of you is. It's like it knows before you've got any conscious formulation anything that you're going to know. And yet it seems to be motivated not by letting you know the truth, but by making sure you don't feel certain ways or do feel certain ways. And let me give you an example. I remember once long ago, my brother, who was entering a religious phase of his life, was in a debate with me taking the view of a rationalist atheist and him taking the view of the religious person. And every part of that debate has been had before, except for one very novel thing, which is that I eventually cornered him into saying that his God was the flying spaghetti monster. Because if he had not made that claim, he already realized on some level, that cunning part of him that's always a step ahead, realized that if he accepted the logic of my argument, then he would have to back down from his whole chain of reasoning which justified his religious claims. But what he ended up saying was so bizarre and so ridiculous. Like, clearly his God is not the flying spaghetti monster. And he's extremely intelligent. He's more intelligent than me in most ways, I'd say. But that cunning part of him just put a full stop on the rationality and initiated a desperate rationalization. And it's just phenomenal. I've noticed the same thing in myself several times. This isn't just a thing that happens to other people. I can't think of examples from my personal experience. But yeah, just be on the lookout for that part of you. I'm very curious. Have you noticed that, like on reflection or when meditating or journaling or something, and you're looking at your own behavior and what you were thinking, do you ever look back and realize, I knew exactly what that person meant and it clearly implied that I was wrong, but I couldn't handle it, and so I told myself a story? Have you ever noticed like how much more clearly that part of you sees the world than you do? And how the reason for that is because it doesn't share with you what it sees. And every time I'm listening to meditation teachers, I wonder, whether that's the part of yourself that you're trying to get in touch with when meditating. This just pre-conscious direct observer without the defensive need to tell stories. I wonder if it's the same thing.